In this video, I'm going to be talking about school. And no, not high school or college or middle school or any types of formal education. I'm talking about Skool, spelled with a K, Skool. An online community platform that was started by Sam Ovens and is now co-owned by Alex Hormozy that has been disrupting the online coaching community and info business space over the last 6 years. And in this video, I'm not going to be discussing Skool features or comparing and contrasting it to other online community platforms. There are plenty of other videos out there that do that. What I'm going to be doing is discussing a hidden strategy that Skool is running behind the scenes to completely separate themselves from their competition and create a category of one, the category kings of an industry that they are creating. A few months ago, I read a book called Play Bigger, where the authors discussed that some of the most successful founders and entrepreneurs of all time didn't try and fight and scrap with their competition and become the kings of their industry. They went and designed their own. This is called category design. This is what Uber did. This is what Airbnb did. This is what Salesforce did. And this is also what Skool is doing. They're designing their own category and they are becoming the category kings of that category because it's a category of one. But the way that they are doing that isn't that obvious, and we're going to be diving into the exact strategy today. Before we dive in, my name's Andy Monroe, the co-founder of Bullish Events, and we actually did a collaboration with Skool back in Q3 of 2026, and this is where I saw this strategy happening in real time. And my mind was completely blown, and I'm excited to dive into it in today's video. So, the hidden strategy that Skool is using or deploying or leveraging, whatever word you want to use for it, the hidden strategy that they are deploying to become a category of one and completely separate themselves from their competition. So maybe you have potentially been living under a rock for the last few years. So if that's you, what is Skool? I'm going to define it for you. So Skool is a platform for hosting communities, courses, and coaching programs online. And I know if this is your first time hearing about it, you're probably thinking this isn't really a new concept. This isn't reinventing the wheel. It's not this completely revolutionary product that has never existed before. There are other community platforms out there. There's WAP, there's Circle, there's Kajabi, there's High Level, there's Facebook groups. There are a lot of other places to host online communities. Even Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels. There's a lot of other places to host community platforms. So what makes Skool so different? Like, why is Skool a better option than any of these other competitors? Well, anyone that has been on the platform of Skool can kind of vouch for this, and that is Skool is actually nothing like those other platforms, and it's completely different. And it's not really the features, it's not really what it does, it's not really how it looks. It's the essence and the energy of the platform. And I promise this is going to make a lot more sense at the end of the video. But why? Like, why is it different? Why is Skool different? And the answer is the community. And I know that sounds kind of intuitive because it is a community platform, but I'm not talking about this first option right here where Skool is a community platform where you can host communities. Like, of course that is a function of it, but Skool in itself is a community. And if you are a Skool user, you become a schooler, and there's actually a group for you to connect with other schoolers on the platform. So you can connect with other community owners, and that has become a community in itself. It's a community for community owners on the platform, which is pretty unique. And there is a special vibe, I'm using the word essence or energy that is flowing throughout the platform that doesn't really exist anywhere else. It's part of the culture, it's part of who Skool is, and people who are using the platform, they align with this energy and this essence, and it's truly what makes the platform very unique. And on the surface, the way that they are doing this is through their branding, it's through the schoolers vibe, it's through the Skool games, it's through the inside jokes, it's from the culture. All of these things do contribute to what makes Skool different. The fact that it's a community, these all reinforce the online community of Skool. But what they're doing behind the scenes is they're running this IRL event strategy that is making them the differentiator. This is making them completely unique, completely different than any other online community program or any other online community platform. And that's that they have an IRL element. And for those of you that don't know what IRL is, for the rock dwellers, IRL stands for in real life. And the reason this is so unique and powerful is that the power of community reaches its full potential when it happens in person. And that is Skool's edge. That's what's making them different. And that is, in my opinion, what is fueling the essence and the energy of Skool that makes it so different. And there are two parts to this strategy that Skool is running. And the first one is their IRL series. So the Skool IRL series actually isn't put on by Skool itself. Goose right here, you can see him down in this colorful shirt. Oop, that's out. Let's dive in. This is Goose right here. He's a Skool ambassador. He is super tight with Sam Ovens and the Skool execs, and he kind of took it on himself to run and pioneer this Skool IRL movement. So he's the one running the show. He has this whole team. There's Tony in the background. Tony's an absolute stud. He's got that little umbrella head. But that Skool IRL team are the ones that are pioneering this movement, and we actually ran into them. I believe it was at Funnel Hacking Live. That's where we met Goose, and we decided that we wanted to collaborate because we run Bullish Events. We are very familiar with the coaching and community style events, and they were looking for some help because they were planning so many events at once. So we took over 4 events. It was Austin, LA, New York, and Austria. And it was at these events where I really started to notice that Skool was different. And these in-person events were basically a place all over the world for Skool users to gather and connect with each other, and also learn from the Skool IRL team about what the latest and greatest is with the Skool platform. And I actually want to dive into what these IRL events are doing, because it's quite fascinating to see this happening in real time. So the first thing that these Skool IRL events are doing is it's creating a community aspect that goes beyond online. So they're building a community aspect that goes beyond online. And like I said, this is something that nobody else in the space is doing. And this is what makes Skool completely different than any other online platform. And yes, Kajabi does. I believe they have their Kajabi Hero Live event that they do every year. And that's more of like a State of the Union, like a annual update on the Kajabi platform. But these IRL events are purely for the community. They are taking what's happening online. They're taking the Skool culture, the Skool communities, all the people that are using Skool to build a business, and they're taking what is special about all of the online stuff and they're replicating it offline. And that's something that nobody else is doing, and that is one of their huge edges that Skool has against their competition. That's like, I'm not even to refer to the competition, that is what is making them design their own category. They're no longer an online community platform. They're just a community platform that exists both online and offline, which is really cool to see. And something else I want to point out that these events do, which is arguably one of the most powerful results, one of the most powerful derivatives, is the affinity that comes along with it. So affinity is an edge in 2026. It's a moat. It's establishing a genuine connection with the people that are inside of your ecosystem. And that's what these IRL events are doing. They are establishing some amazing affinity with Skool users and the Skool ecosystem, which leads me into my next point. Affinity, at least to the extent that Skool is leveraging it, affinity usually creates super fans and what Russell likes to call a culture. And I know we don't like to use the word cult because cult has a negative connotation, but the amount of affinity and connection and relationships that are being created through these IRL events, it's creating these super fans in this culture that isn't being replicated anywhere else. That's why when I said at the beginning of the video, those that have been on the Skool platform, they've kind of drank the Kool-Aid. They know that this platform is different. It's nothing like any other platform. And a lot of that is because of these IRL events and the super fans and this crazy culture that's being created from these in-person events. Another point to mention here that I want to touch on is this tribal instinct that is being satisfied. This tribal / we'll do tribal and communal. Tribal sounds a little aggressive aspect, and not to get too biological or philosophical here, but humans have this desire to be a part of a tribe, to connect with people. And again, same as community, this can only be fully realized when it happens in person. And when I was doing these events, we did 4 events with Skool, and the amount of people that I heard say, like, this was a life-changing experience. I finally found my people. I found my community. I found my tribe. These are all Skool users that have online platforms, and they engage in the Skoolers community. But when they attended the in-person event, that's where it clicked for them. Like, they finally had found their people. They found their community. And this was because it was happening in person. Community reaches its full potential when it happens in person. The last thing I want to mention here is this cool flywheel that has been created now with the amount of in-person events that are happening. So Skool, of course, starts online. That's where everyone that attended the events started their journey with Skool online. They go offline to the events, and then they take the magic and the experience, what they learned, and all of this excitement around the platform, and they take it back online to further build out their community, to go and engage with other schoolers, to go talk to the people they met in person and go talk to them online, to join each other's communities. The magic from the events continues to unfold on the platform. And that's something that I noticed as well, is I met all these people at these Skool events. There are about like 20 to 30 attendees per event. And the amount of people that were talking about it and posting about it on Skool itself after the event was absolutely insane. And the people that weren't even attending the events were getting in on the conversation saying like, oh, I wish I could have been there. That looks awesome. This is why Skool is so cool, is because they're hosting all these community events. I'm telling you, it's just such a unique atmosphere. And one of the big drivers, one of the key aspects of this unique atmosphere is the IRL event strategy that is happening inside of the Skool ecosystem. So that's part one. Part one is the Skool IRL event series. And then I want to touch on part two, which is the Skool games. So Skool games used to be, I believe it used to be monthly. Now it's quarterly. But there are different categories on the Skool platform. There's hobbies, there's making money, there's, I believe, health and fitness, there's music. There's just a bunch of different categories that communities exist in. And at the end of every quarter, there are winners of the categories. I believe it's the top 5 in each category. They get to go and fly out to the Skool headquarters. They get this award for being a Skool Games winner, and they get to attend this in-person event with the other winners. And on the last day, I think it's a 2-day event, and on day 2, they get to talk to or hear from Sam Ovens and Alex Hormozy. So the end of each quarter is this culmination of all the hard work that people have put in that happens through an in-person event. And that is done for a reason. With how busy Sam Ovens and Alex Hormozy are, they could totally do a virtual Skool Games where people jump on a Zoom room, they hear Alex and Sam talk for a couple minutes, and then everyone goes into breakout rooms and talks, and they send people on their way. But Sam and Alex have been in the game for a long time, and they know the power of in-person events. They know what in-person events can do for a brand and for the culture of a company. Now, to add a few things that the Skool Games are doing for Skool as a platform, and I'm not going to touch on the ones that already exist with the IRL. Like, yes, the affinity, yes, the community, all that stuff is happening at the Skool Games as well and is incredibly powerful. But some things that are unique to the Skool Games, it gives people something to chase. And this is why we're actually pretty big believers in community awards at Bullish Events. It's something that we've done before. At Fun Launch, where I got my start, I was a founding partner at a coaching company called Fun Launch, and we would have the Wall Street Rebel Award. And every single year at our annual event, we would give away the Wall Street Rebel Award to people that had achieved it, that had won it throughout the past year. And we even did this with one of our clients, the Home Service Academy. We helped them build out their community award, and every year at their annual event, we do an award show as well. And the reason that this is such a cool strategy is it gives people something to chase, which keeps them on the platform engaging much longer than they would if there wasn't a community award. The amount of people that I've talked to both on Skool, the platform, as well as at the Skool IRL events that have said that their number one goal is to win the Skool Games is actually insane. No, it's not to go and start a $10,000 business, and it's not to go, quit their day job. Like, those are probably things that they want. But when we talk to them about what their biggest goal is, it's to go and win the Skool Games. That is something that is unique to Skool. Winning the Skool Games is really only valuable and relevant on the platform of Skool. So if that is somebody's number one goal, they're going to stay on that platform working towards winning and accomplishing that goal as long as possible. If the goal was just to start a business and make $10,000 a month, if it wasn't working on Skool, they could go try WAP, they could go try Circle, they could go do something else. But because they want to win the Skool Games, that can only be done on the platform of Skool. And that's why community awards are such a powerful strategy, is because it aligns people's goals and what they want to achieve with something that is only achievable through your brand. And it no longer becomes just starting a business or getting fit or whatever it is your community is about. People now just want to achieve that community award. They want to achieve that end goal, and that keeps them inside of your community and your coaching program longer. So that's kind of a high level overview of why we like the community award strategy, and Skool has done a really good job at this. And what's unique about this is the awards are cool, but based on what we have heard from the Skool Games winners and other people that are looking to win the Skool Games, is the IRL event is the key motivator. People, like, it's cool to win the Skool Games. It's cool to have the trophy and to say that you won the Skool Games, but people really want to go and get in the room with other people that are crushing it on the Skool platform. They want to go hear from Sam Ovens. They want to go hear from Alex Hormozy. They want to see the Skool HQ. So the IRL event is actually a huge motivator in why people want to win the Skool Games. And finally, something that the Skool Games allows them to do is it allows them to actually just stay in touch with what's working, what's not working. And the way, if you think about it, every single quarter they get to do this in-person event with their best performing clients, their best performing students, the people that are crushing it with their platform, and they get to stay in touch with those people and hear what they're doing to grow their business, what they're doing on the platform that works, stuff that they're trying that's not working. And this, of course, informs the decisions that they're making when they are investing in the product and making the product better. One of the worst things a founder can do is become out of touch with the actual users and the customers that are using their product. So having the Skool games happen once a quarter keeps a really solid touch, a really solid pulse on what is working with the users themselves on the platform. And of course, all the other benefits from events, they generate these priceless marketing assets, the affinity, the community, the authority, the positioning, all of that stuff comes along with the Skool games as well. So in summary, the IRL strategy that Skool is running behind the scenes, this isn't something that's being talked about very often. When you think of the platform of Skool, you don't really think of the in-person events, you don't think of the Skool games, you think of the community hosting platform. People join for that, but they stay for the culture, they stay for the essence and the energy that you can really only experience on the Skool platform. This is helping them become a category of one. It's almost to the point where I don't even put Skool in the same category as WAP and Kajabi and all these other community platforms, because they have done such a good job of designing their own category and just becoming a community platform, not just an online community platform. And the IRL event strategy they're deploying, like I was saying, is completely separating them from their competition. They're building something that is so much deeper and real than an online community platform. It goes so much deeper. It goes beyond words at this point. And like I said, people may come for the features, but they stay for the community and the culture that exists on Skool. And that community and culture is being reinforced and amplified through these in-person events. This is what makes Skool different, and that's why they are becoming their own category. They're designing their own category, and they are becoming their own category kings. All right, so that wraps up the hidden strategy that Skool is using to become a category of one and completely separate themselves from their competition. Also, if you run your own coaching business or your own community and you're looking to start hosting your own in-person events, click the link down in the description. We have a lot of free resources for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.